Hello there, Ben Bowers, the Spirit Specialist, and I am here today to talk to you about the impressive looking Crystal Head Vodka. You may have seen this online, you might have seen this in some stores. Incredibly distinctive bottle, probably more well known for the bottle itself rather than what's in it. But it is actually a really good vodka. It was conceived by the actor Dan Aykroyd, who you've probably heard of, star of the likes of Ghostbusters and the Blues Brothers, and he had previously had dealings with Patron Tequila, and he launched Crystal Head in 2008. It was a collaboration with an artist called John Alexander, and John himself is the person that designed the bottle. Dan and John were fascinated with the legends of the crystal skulls. Legend has it there were 13 crystal skulls that originate from Mayan and Mesoamerican cultures that are said to have kind of life-giving powers and other kind of like supernatural elements to it. However, there is a lot of research that shows that they don't date back that far. They're actually produced in what seems to be kind of like Germany area of Europe in around the 1850s. So really kind of like influential in culture, and they wanted to kind of use this as a very distinctive bottle. Now the vodka itself is actually made in Canada because Dan Aykroyd himself is Canadian. It's produced in Newfoundland by a company called Globefil, and this particular edition, which is their standard bottling, the first one that came out, uses a type of sweet corn that's called peaches and cream, and you can see from the picture why it's called that, because it's a weird kind of cob that has two coloured kernels on it. It's a sweeter than normal flavour for sweet corn, and it actually works really well in the production of vodka. After the distillation process, it's then filtered 7 times, and the last 3 sessions of filtration go through something called Herkimer diamonds. Now these aren't actually diamonds, they are essentially a crystal quartz, but they sound more impressive. And then they are diluting it with glacial Newfoundland water. So I am fortunate enough to have a bottle myself to try. So this was launched in 2008, which was the same year that Steven Spielberg released Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I tried very hard to remove from my head because it wasn't particularly brilliant. But Dan became aware that Spielberg was actually making the movie and what it was about while he was doing the trials for this particular launch. So he ended up getting in touch with Spielberg and saying, look, I'm doing essentially a Crystal Skull vodka. Do you have an issue with this? Spielberg absolutely loved the idea, and it turned out that at the world premiere of the Indiana Jones movie, everybody received a bottle of this. So it actually tied in really nicely. Now, the skull itself was designed by John Alexander, and Dan, as he goes around, because he spends about 3 months of the year when he's not acting as a brand ambassador for the brand, he's really hard working in terms of this is like his baby, and he really does a lot of work in terms of promoting it. So this was designed, this isn't based on an actual skull. So Dan has maintained for quite a few years that it's actually the skull of a woman that he named Joy. But there's a forensic artist, a Scottish guy called Nigel Cockerton, who is well known for essentially rebuilding faces from skulls that have been found to then find out what it is that the person looks like to help the police with their investigation. So in 2014, he actually took the Crystal Skull bottle. I think it was a 1.5 litre bottle. It was a Magnum, so it was more kind of, this is not life size, it's slightly smaller than my head. But the Magnum is basically human head size, 1-to-1 scale. So he took one of those and rebuilt the skull so that they could find out what it actually looked like. And it turned out it looked male more than female, but it appeared to be smiling and was very happy. Dan, overjoyed to find this, you know, a bit disappointed it wasn't the woman that he thought it was. But what he was quite relieved was it didn't look like him, because that probably would have freaked me out a little bit. So let me give you an idea of what we're actually looking at in this vodka. Now with vodka, as opposed to gin, you're looking more for kind of purity. Vodkas don't tend to have the kind of the botanicals that giving you loads of different flavors like you do with gins, and it's why vodka kind of gets dismissed a bit nowadays. Gin's incredibly popular, and vodka's kind of like, well, no, I like gin, but I really don't like vodka. And if you don't put juniper in it, it's basically vodka. If I put juniper in this, if they put juniper in Crystal Head as in the production process, it would be Crystal Head gin. That's all it is. And yet vodka gets really dismissed. Really good vodka, you're looking for depth and complexity, but it's a very subtle complexity. Vodka is all about cleanliness and purity and texture more than actual kind of depth of flavors that are in there. The complexity that is there is texture and flavor, and it's much more subtle. Yes, vodka, most of the vodkas are made to be mixed, but there are some fantastic vodkas out there that drink incredibly well neat, that work as an aperitif, almost as like a kind of like pre-dinner or a digestif or something like that, that is a shot of something very, very well made. So hopefully this is up there. So on the nose, and a lot of people are going, why are you nosing a vodka? There's nothing there. But actually, there is obviously an alcohol content in there. We are looking at 40%, so it's not massively strong, but there is a cleanliness, a freshness. There's a slight saline element. There's sort of like a really subtle sea salt, but it's like sea breeze. It's nothing particularly kind of overly salty. But there's a lovely freshness there. There's a really subtle citrusiness. There's almost a little touch of like really, really fresh mint, like mint leaves. It's a lovely nose. It's not big and deep and complex, but it is fresh and inviting and very, very, very kind of like spring and summer like. And this is texture. There's a lovely kind of creamy note to it. You do get a nice little kick. It's 40%, and there is starting to be like almost like a tingle, which feels like it could develop. And if it was stronger, it probably would turn into a little bit of a burn, because you've got a delicacy to the flavors in there. But mouthfeel wise, there's a lovely clean creaminess to it. Very, very easy to drink, slips down a treat. A lot of people that I've encountered that say they don't like vodka go, oh, you know, it burns. There is absolutely no burn here whatsoever. For me, a really good vodka has to drink well neat. And then if you want to mix it, you can do. And this drinks brilliantly neat. It's clean, it's fresh. What's on the nose, that sort of slight saline element, the sea salt, the sea air, the citrus is there. It's not particularly overpowering. It's the texture. It's so easy to drink. And actually, even at room temperature, when vodkas can kind of like dull down a bit because it needs a little bit of chilling, even at room temperature, it drinks incredibly well. I think it's fantastic, and it's such a relief that you get a fantastic bottle like Crystal Head and think, nah, yeah, but it's probably not that good. And the liquid itself is as good as the bottle. I think it's absolutely beautiful stuff outside and in. It will work brilliantly with cocktails. It's got enough kick to it that it'll cut through, but it's not got too much kick that you can drink this neat, literally as a digestif or anything, just as a shot between. It'll even work as a palate cleanser in between courses. You know, get rid of the sorbet and have a shot of this instead. It will certainly look good if you're trying to impress people at a dinner party, that sort of thing. It's brilliant. It's really, really good. It looks the part. You're looking at about £50 a bottle. Roughly that, depending on whether it's on deals and things like that. It is available through our web store, www.spiritspecialist.com. I highly recommend it. It works brilliantly as a present if you wanted to give somebody an impressive looking bottle. But if you like vodkas, if you like gins and you like clean gins, and you do drink gins neat and that sort of thing as well, this really will tick all sorts of boxes. Brilliant in cocktails, absolutely brilliant on its own. I think it's fantastic stuff. Dan Aykroyd has done an amazing job with this. It's annoying because he's a really, really good actor that's been in some fantastic films, and it would be nice to knock him down a peg or two, but unfortunately I can't, because his vodka is incredibly good. So visit the website. You're all welcome to pop into the shop as well. We are open during the pandemic, if the pandemic is still going by the time you're watching this. But we've also got the Aurora, which I shall be doing another video of imminently, and I shall be getting in their new agave-based vodka as well very, very soon. So hopefully I'll see you soon in order for you to purchase a bottle, and I shall see you in the next video. Cheers.